All right, good day. Hope everybody out there is having a good one. If it's your first time to the channel, what we do here is we follow people's suggestions rather than following algorithms. It's led us to find way more music and things that we ever would have found any other way. No algorithm ever would have shown us the things that we have found. It just there's too wide of a variety of things, and algorithms that to a certain point are just kind of repeater machines. They see what you like and they try to give you more of that thing. But people will broaden your horizons way more than any algorithm will. And it's really reflected in the playlists that we have here. So you go to the playlist section and you will find a bunch of bands that I guarantee that you haven't heard, never knew you needed in your life. They're going to be your new favorite thing. There's going to be something there that you've never heard. I guarantee. Guaranteed or your money back. Now, one of the artists first of all, let's back up here. One of the areas in playlists and genres of music that you can check out here on the channel is flamenco. We've talked an awful lot about it. Awful lot about Paco de Lucia. And a lot of the other artists. In fact, flamenco and Paco de Lucia both have their own playlists. Now, there's a lot of artists within the flamenco playlist, as well as Paco de Lucia, El Di Viola, John McLaughlin, Tomatito. The list goes on. And another one that a lot of these artists would point to as, their inspiration or Carlos Montoya. Now, we just picked this up. Now, we already had the Carlos Montoya plays Malagueña. Now, ironically enough, we also have a Roy Clark album of him performing Malagueña. And at the time, I remember as a child watching him perform this and never realizing, where he got it from. And he talked about, getting it from. In fact, he tells a story about Cuba, but it all makes sense when you think about it. But anyway, he went around the world and he collected different styles and different things, and he brought them back and he, emulated them in his way. And I think his version of Malagueña really kind of is an overarching, like he's almost trying to present the sound of Spain at the same time while performing this because it's really when you hear Carlos Montoya versus Roy Clark, it's like night and day. Now, this is an album that we have actively been searching out. We have a whole list that we put together of albums that we know about and we want to get our hands on. And this has been one of them. I was like, when I found it, I snatched it up like somebody was going to take it away from me. But this album, okay, this is what we came here to talk about today. This album right here, this is Carlos Montoya and his Flamenco Guitar. Now, they are not kidding. Now, what Carlos Montoya, what you also hear in Malagueña, you get a sense of his style. About him from here on the channel. In the playlist, we have videos of him. But, his perfected use of polyrhythms and his ability to just layer these rhythms, almost as if there's several guitarists playing and it's just him. It's really it's unmatched, especially on this album. You really get a sense that he really pulls all that out it gets to a certain extent where I'm just like, I'm like, well, now you're just showing off. Because, he really, it's like an awesome, like, a flamenco jam album. Like, just a musical, sonic assault in the best way possible. And it's a beautiful album. If you're an aspiring guitarist or just, a fan of, guitar music and stuff, I highly recommend checking out not only flamenco, but Carlos Montoya, and especially this album, because he comes out as there's so much energy, there's so much, and he'll go from one extreme to the other in a song so effortlessly. He'll be bang, and then it'll go right into this lullaby type melody that has this perfectly, just impeccably played arpeggio layered right there while everything is being played all together, and it's like you sit back, you take it in, and then he has this way of wrenching you out of that, shaking you, and then, okay, I'll play you, and then this album really, when it comes to, things to, that will take your breath away or really grab a hold of you. This is an album that will do that in spades. I promise you. If you don't have a feeling of, wow, that album was, really gripping, and then you're probably dead inside and you probably should seek professional help. But in all seriousness, this album is like, to put it in like silly terms, this would be like the metal album of flamenco. Like, if you're a metal fan, you'll appreciate this album. If you're just a fan, it's just, if you're a fan of music in general, and like I said, a fan of guitar in any sense, you will really appreciate the spectacle that is on display here. The things that are going on, and it's like, and the other thing too is, I've been listening to this album for 3 days, basically nonstop. The neighbors have listened to it for a good 48 hours as well. They're now fans of Carlos Montoya, whether they like it or not. But so the point I'm staggering towards here is, it really has this, no matter how many times I play it, it's like I always feel, and it's one thing I love about the genre as well, and all, is I always feel like I'm hearing something new. There's something else that pokes out, like those awesome movies that we all know about, that's like every time you watch it, you see something new that you didn't see before because there's so much in it. And it's, and there's also authors that we could, point to, and there's just so many artists, Paco de Lucia being one of them, and a lot of the artists that we have on display here in the flamenco playlist. I would really encourage you to check that playlist out if you haven't heard of flamenco or any of the players that I've been talking about. You seriously need to get acquainted, and definitely this album, if you find this album out in the wild, you snatch it up just like I did, and make sure you get it. I got it for basically next to nothing, because the thing about finding this stuff out in the wild here isn't as easy as one would think. So I just wanted to stop in, kind of tell you about we have a new addition to the family, and I really just, the more I've been listening to it, I was like, I gotta talk about this, I gotta share this. I got a lot of peeps that I've been talking to, a lot of new friends and everybody that I've made from Spain, and that are in Spain, or South America, even, just that really have talked about that. I was like, I gotta talk about this. I gotta say something about this. So I really wanted to kind of do a post. I was just gonna post something about it, but then I figured I kind of wanted to explain it a little bit more, because it's just so enamoring and so, like, take your breath away type of an album. And I really, I would say to you that sometimes, in this world that we live in today, where we get clips and pieces of artists, we don't get as much of a sense of their music or artists we think we are. When you get to sit down with a full album and sit back and listen to that artist, you get a way better sense of their style, that what they're you get a better way to pick up what they're laying down. And it's just, this is an album that does that in spades. This really shows you what this man, I would say this would be him, at his prime. There's probably a lot that would argue, no, this is an album that would, either way, it doesn't matter. Go check out any album that has his name on it. Paco de Lucia, Tom Petite, any of these artists. If you find them out in the wild, just grab them. I promise you are going to enjoy. It will be worth any penny, every penny that you spend. I'm telling you. So but I wanted to share the good news, and just we've been under the weather, so this has been like the best thing about that is we've been sitting back just listening to this, and it's helped get us through and made us feel a lot better. And I'll tell you what, man, music has the power of healing, and this album really proved that in spades yet again. Once again, go check this artist out. We have him here on the channel and the Flamenco playlist, and take a look around. Guarantee you're going to find some music that you never knew about or never knew you needed in your life. We have a lot of artists, a lot of genres, a lot of cool stuff from a lot of regions, just a lot. So while you're doing that, I'm going to go find some other new music and follow some other people's suggestions that I'll bring back and show you. And everybody out there, have a good day. If you got an artist or somebody that we should be checking out, please do leave them in the comments, and like, comment, subscribe, do all those YouTube things, and we will see you next one. Hope you're having a good day out there. Hope it's going as good as it possibly can be. We get tons more news, reviews, reacts, all that kind of stuff, and more. So, see you in the next one. Have a great day out there, everybody.